Well, today I want your opinion. I'm researching more and more about these online communities for training online, taking courses at your pace, when you want, how deeply you want to go into online community courses like Circle and School and all the others that are out there. So now I want your opinion on something. Let's suppose you've been in sales for a long time or give lots of presentations in front of small groups and large groups. I want to create a community that is impactful, that helps you grow and be the best you can be, or at least help you improve from where you are now. So here's where I want your opinion. What do you believe is going to be most valuable to you, your colleagues, other people you've seen in the industry? Would it cover, for example, advanced selling skills? Now, what does that mean? It ties into consultative selling, asking better questions, listening more effectively, trying to figure out, in a sense, like a doctor does, when a doctor welcomes you into the office and you're there for a physical or an issue or an allergy or whatever you're there for, what does a doctor do? He or she asks questions. What brings you here? How can I help? And then they just listen to everything you're saying, and they're waiting for cues in terms of it could be this issue, it could be that issue. So when I think about advanced selling skills, the best sales reps I've met in my career don't really sell. They don't really pitch. They provide solutions. So when I talk about advanced selling skills, that's really what ties into that consultative conversation. So that's option one. The other option I would think about is cold calls. What do you say? How do you deal with rejection? Man, is that a big one? Dealing with rejection. So could there be a segment, should there be, in your opinion, a segment on cold calling? The other segment that is really been quite popular in the 5,000 presentations I've given has been listening skills. How to really pay attention and give them, the prospect, your client, some time to talk about what's really bothering them. What are the gaps? Also, what do they want to get from here, where they are now, to where they want to be in the next year, or 2 or 3 or 4. But let's just take from here now, 12 months down the road. When you can discover that, then you can provide, like a great consultant, solutions. And then you're not selling, are you? You're providing solutions. But part of that, a big part of that, ties into listening and really, truly paying attention to their needs and not pushing product. So, is it listening skills? What about communication skills? Now, that could tie into presentations. It could tie into just talking with people in your office more effectively. When I say people in your office, I mean people on your sales team, the management group, the people above you, the people who work for you perhaps. How are you in your communication skills? Now, when I think of the wholesalers I've worked with, and I've worked with hundreds in my career, it's really important that they have presentation skills. Whether they're in financial services or wholesalers in other businesses, such as the medical industry or the mining industry, all of these industries that I've covered, it's really important that if they're going to give a presentation on what makes their product different, better, more effective, less expensive, whatever it is, they've got to nail the presentation. So, do you think that is an option that people really need some fine-tuning on to help them be more effective? So that's presentation skills. It's also communication skills, as I mentioned a moment ago. Where are the gaps, right? Where are people, again, your colleagues, people you've seen in the industry, where are they in need of fine-tuning, of helping them get to, again, like your clients, from where they are now to where they want to be in the next 3 months, 6 months? Because this training doesn't need to take 3 years. A lot can change in a matter of a month just by teaching them more effective ways, having them practice and rehearse and maybe get some coaching to help them improve dramatically. Because when it comes right down to our skills, we don't know what we don't know. We might think we're really good until we meet somebody who is exceptional. And then you have the gap between where you are now and where they are and where you want to be. So with this online training community, what do you think is needed most? The other thing that ties into sales that I have found really effective is how to strengthen the relationship with your clients. Now, the good news is they're clients, so that works out really well. How do you strengthen that relationship so they continue to provide revenue, sales, opportunities? What I've found is a big problem with many salespeople. They sell you once, they're gone. It's like one-hit wonders. We don't want that, do we? Because now you've got to find more clients, which means you have to call on more prospects, which ties into cold calling and presentation skills and communication skills, which is fine because we can fine-tune all of those. But again, in your opinion, what's needed most? One of the strengths I had and many of my colleagues had was learning how to strengthen that relationship so that your clients were so happy they became what we call raving fans. They wanted to tell all of their friends about you, all of their friends in the industry. So for example, my role many, many years ago was as what we call a wholesaler. So I worked for a money management firm, and my job, my role was to find clients, financial advisors, to invest in our products. So if their client Betty B came in with $3 million and the advisor was going to create a portfolio with a variety of mutual funds, my intention was to develop such a strong relationship of trust with the advisor that they would choose some of our funds to go in that portfolio. So by building that trust, they knew and they could say to the client, there are 10,000 mutual funds we can go into. I've handpicked a few families that I really trust, that I know return, competitive rates of return every year, and I'm going to put you in those funds. That was a result of the relationship I built, which takes time and consistency. Because once you build that trust, so many things can happen. Without trust, you tell me, what happens? Nothing, right? They'll give you lots of excuses on why they don't want to move forward because there's no trust. And without trust, you have nothing. So, is that another topic I could add to the online community? How to build and maintain trust. And that all ties into relationship building with clients. So I throw this out here today on YouTube, on LinkedIn, asking you for your feedback. What do you see is needed in the industry, in the online training community, or even in person? Let me tell you why I'm looking at online. Most of my 5,000 presentations have been in person, whether it's a keynote presentation or a company hiring me to train their salespeople. And yet there are a lot of people, hundreds of thousands, that say, I don't really want to take 2 days out of the office, out of my territory, because it's too costly. I want to learn online at my pace. So that market has really exploded. And if there's a need that I can help fulfill, that I can help you be even better at what you do, I want to fill that gap for you. Think about it. I've been in sales for more than 35 years. During one 5-year period, I helped my clients sell more than $1 billion, with a B, $1 billion in products. I should say solutions for their clients. So I've been doing this a long time. I want to share my expertise, my subject matter expertise, with more and more people to help them succeed at what they're doing. And granted, some people will say, no, Neil, I can do this on my own. Well, that's fine. If that learning curve is going to be 5 years versus 5 months, you tell me, what's more valuable to you? I would much rather speed learn that information. Instead of learning from your own mistakes, learn from mine and learn from the solutions. How to work more effectively, how to work smarter, not harder, how to make more money, have more fun, find more time. All those things that tie in to a really successful and effective training program. So please share your thoughts with me. Private message me if you prefer. I'll put messages right online based on this video. What is your opinion? What are the major needs out there? If you want to list the top 3 needs in your opinion, I welcome that. I want your feedback because I'm here to help you. So let me know what I can do for you. My email address, as I think you probably know already, is neil@neilwoodconsulting.com. neil@neilwoodconsulting.com. Or again, just DM me based on this message and the platform you're on watching this. I want to help. I want to make a difference. We have a brand new year. We have an opportunity for you to really excel and make perhaps the most money in your career. And build your confidence. And build your self-esteem. And your skills. That's it for today. Thanks so much for your feedback. I welcome your opinion.